Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk. I'm Tracy Morgan. Always nice to have you around just after 11 o'clock this morning and our time to sit and chat for a while. Hey, if you like what you hear on the program or if you just want to hear it again, feel free and log online to WISR680.com. And we're going to have this segment of Let's Talk with Specialized Staffing as our podcast for the day. And you can look under programs in the menu bar. It'll drop you down to Let's Talk and just look for Specialized Staffing. So today is our day with Specialized Staffing. And of course, Lisa Gard, owner of Specialized Staffing with us. How are you, Lisa?
I'm great, Tracy. How are you?
Oh, it's so nice to have you. And we're chilly, but that's okay. So we are going to be starting our day off in a positive note. That's what we're going to focus on today as we talk about what you do. But first of all, when I say Specialized Staffing, just give us that minute overview, if you will, of what you do.
Sure. So Specialized Staffing, we work with companies in the Western Pennsylvania region, helping them to find qualified candidates to fill positions, mainly in the fields of accounting, finance, administration, human resources. We work with a lot of manufacturing companies in the engineering field and in production management positions. So that's what we do, and as we help people find jobs with our customers, which are the companies we work with.
And so when you talk about starting your day off on a positive note, how does that make a difference when we're trying to find a job, when we're working with you, when we're going through this whole entire process?
Right. So it's funny because, we are just reaching February here, and I thought Valentine's Day is coming up, and so we start thinking about hearts, and then that got me thinking about, love, and I thought, there are ways that we can love our job. Oftentimes we talk to people who are looking for a new job, but what about thinking about how to love the job you're in? And that is actually the first step at having a more positive experience at work, and actually being able to love your job a little bit more is to start your day on a positive note. And when I say that, it's easy to say, well, what do you mean start your day on a positive note? If you're not a morning person, it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, I'm not listening anymore.
No, and I'm not a morning person, but there are some things I do if I really want to make an effort to start my day out more positively. So one of those things is just take some extra time in the morning to do what you enjoy. And I don't mean a lot of time because, if you're like most people, you don't have a lot of extra time in the morning. You're busy, you're, getting ready for work, you're getting the kids ready for school. But if you can get up just 10 minutes early and spend some time by yourself doing something you enjoy, enjoying that cup of coffee or tea in peace, possibly getting some exercise. And when I say exercise, I don't mean, jump on the treadmill. But sometimes, especially when you start a new year and you decide you want to, have a new you and you want to exercise, it's hard to get on that cycle. But even if you just do a little bit of stretching or, something like that, it can really help get you used to getting up a little bit earlier and being a little bit more active. And eat a healthy breakfast. It doesn't mean you have to cook, but there are a lot of healthy choices out there. So enjoy something in the morning that can help get your body going. You can reduce your stress by organizing the night before. Figure out what you're going to wear, have it ready, have it ironed, have it laid out, so that you're not like me standing in the closet and wondering, okay, what am I going to wear today? My day starts out much better when I already know what I'm going to wear and I have it ready to go. And then, when you leave for work, listen to something positive on your way to work. A funny radio show. There are books on tape, things like that you can listen to that kind of lift your spirits. And then finally, in starting your day on a positive note, try to get to work 5 minutes early. And I don't mean that so that you can get in there and squeeze another task in, but take some time to get to your workstation, say hi to people, get your coffee, enjoy your trip to your office. Oftentimes we're getting to work at the very last minute. We're running through, and we're sitting down at our desk and we're checking our email and we're hurrying to get started on the day. So those are just some ways that I've found that you can start your day on a more positive note.
When you're talking about getting your clothes and what it is that you need for the next day the night before, how about organizing the day? I mean, I know you're organizing before, but is there anything we can do during the day that organizes our day a little bit better?
Absolutely. So if you've gotten to work, you're 5 minutes early, said hi to everybody, you got that second cup of coffee, and you're sitting at your desk, now is a good time. And when you're firing up your computer, looking at your day, hopefully you are using a tool like a calendar or a task list to keep track of the things that you must do during the day. But if you're there and it's time to start your day and you're looking at your day from above on a calendar, you're checking your messages, no doubt that between the time you left last night and the time you got there this morning, something changed. You know how you have your little to-do list and you go in and you get one phone call and that just changes your whole day around. That doesn't have to ruin your day. If you're organized, you can look at that and you can see where that fits in. I'm a very easily overwhelmed person. I'm motivated by winning. I'm motivated by, achieving tasks, but I'm easily overwhelmed when I look at one big task. So oftentimes I will break that task up into steps on my task list, and it helps me to feel like I'm accomplished. So I'll give you an example. So if I come into my office and I sit down and I look at my to-do list and I see radio show due today, and I think to myself, I have to get my radio show, my topic written, and I have to research that topic data, and I have to organize everything, and I have to schedule the recording session. Well, that's overwhelming to me, but those 4 things that I just said can be 4 things on my task list. Research radio show topics, research the data, organize my presentation, schedule the recording session. Those are 4 tasks that by the time I'm done, I've checked 4 things off my list. I feel very accomplished, and I've met my objective, which was to organize the radio show. So kind of breaking up those tasks and organizing your day in a way that you can look at it and see how it's going to be done.
You said something to me about taking PTO. What do you mean by that?
Taking PTO, paid time off. Paid time off. So according to most companies have vacation time, personal time. PTO kind of lumps that all in together. It's paid time off. And, according to a study that was published recently in Forbes magazine, there were some benefits to taking time off that are pretty substantial, including higher productivity at work, better morale in the workplace, and even significant health benefits. It's proven that taking that time off to relax improves your mental health. So it's important to take that paid time off. I am very, very lucky. I work with a great group of people, and it's funny because they are so dedicated to work, and oftentimes we get to the end of the year, and everybody has leftover PTO because they haven't taken it. And it's great. I have a healthy staff. They don't get sick. But we all need to take that PTO. So we work really hard at making sure everybody gets to take that time off and relax. So, look at your calendar, schedule it a couple months out, give yourself something to look forward to, even if it's just a long weekend where you take a Friday or a Monday or both. Doesn't have to be a full week, but, take that paid time off. You've earned it. Your company provides it as a benefit, and it certainly does have some benefits in terms of your health.
Because it's nice to hear that that you're encouraging people to take time off, but I think a lot of us get a little afraid to take time off because, I don't know, do we think that our job won't be there? Do we think that our coworkers will think less of us? Because some people don't take the time.
No, a lot of people don't. And like I said, companies offer that as a benefit, and they expect you to take it. So absolutely take advantage of that.
When we're talking about the new year, talking about loving our jobs, and by the way, we're talking with Lisa Gard with Specialized Staffing with the office based in Butler, although specialized staffing reaches quite a bit of an area with Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, and with many different industries. When we're talking about loving our job, you say get a sense of purpose. Does that mean, well, I want you to explain what you mean by that, but do people not have a sense when they're working at their current job?
Sometimes it's hard to lose sight of your sense of purpose, depending on where you are in the company and what you're doing. Sometimes it's hard if you're sitting in a cubicle and you're entering data into a computer all day. Sometimes it's hard to keep in mind the big picture and get that sense of purpose of what impact you're actually having. And I have a great example of that. So, you think about, what does your company do? My company places people in positions, and I know that we have an impact on people's lives by doing that. We have an impact on how a company does, successful or otherwise, by the decisions we make. And what impact does what your company does have on the world? And then what do you do in your little office or your little cube? What do you do, and how does that impact the company? And do the math. When I had my first job, when I was very, very young, right out of school, I got a job for a company called Intech Systems. They're no longer in business, but they were in the medical device field. We manufactured, and I'll never forget this, we manufactured an automatic implantable cardioverter defibrillator. Say that 3 times fast. But basically, those paddles that they use when you're having a heart attack that send electric pulses to your heart to get it started again. This was implantable, and they would actually implant this inside a patient, and it would sense when you were going into an irregular cardiac rhythm, and it would actually give you that shock without, somebody having to get paddles. And so that's what we manufactured. My job in human resources was very entry level. I was screening resumes for people who were applying for jobs to do electronic assembly. So they were soldering PC boards. And when you think about, okay, what I'm doing is I'm basically human search engine. I'm looking on resumes for words that would indicate these people are qualified to come in and do this job. So I could have very easily, and often did, think, this is pretty mundane. I'm just sitting here looking for these words on resumes, highlighting the right words, and separating them into yes piles and no piles. But one day we received a letter from a patient in California who had one of these devices implanted, and he was a Native American, and it was a thank you note, and he had this device implanted, and he explained in his letter that he was out shopping with his wife. They came home, and he didn't feel well, and he sat down, and he could feel that he was about to have a heart attack. And the device went into action, and it shocked his heart back into a normal rhythm. But he further went on to explain that one of his Native American beliefs was that when you die, if you were a good person on earth, your best horse will be with you in heaven. And he thanked us because he saw heaven and he didn't see his horse. So we all just went, wow, that's what we do, so that really had an impact. So when you think about, and I never thought about it the same way again. I never thought about screening those roads. This is what we did. We saved lives. We gave people a second chance at life by doing what we did. So even myself, sitting there with my little highlighter, looking for, the right words on a resume, I had a part in that. So that was what helped me realize a sense of purpose. So when you think about what your company does, how it impacts the world, how it makes life better for people, then think about the part you play in that. And hopefully, that sense of purpose can help you have a better day as well.
Do you think that the finding that sense of purpose, should it fall on the employees' lap, if you will, or should it be the company's responsibility to make sure that information is shared with the employees?
That's a great question, Tracy, and I think that goes both ways. I know that we like to talk about the impact we have at our company, but I think it really does go both ways. The company really needs to communicate those things. And obviously somebody could have gotten that letter and just kept it, but the company chose to share that letter with everybody, and it made a big difference. So I think it's important for the company to communicate its purpose and its impact, but then also for we as employees to think about it from our end and decide whether we want to take that sense of purpose and make it important to us or not.
We're talking with Lisa Gard, Specialized Staffing, of course. And Lisa, before we go on with what we're talking about, talk about the areas that you do reach with Specialized Staffing.
Sure. So we work within Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, a little bit into New York, and we focus on the fields of accounting, finance, human resources, administration, work with a lot of manufacturing companies in the salaried levels of engineering, production management, and again, basically the tri-state area.
We're talking about liking our jobs in 2016, trying to start off on a positive note, the things that we can do to change our own life, if you will, as we're working at our current job or even trying to find a new one. But you mentioned set yourself up for success. How do you do that if you feel stuck or if you've been trying and you're not getting a new job or a new promotion or a new position? How do you set yourself up for success?
Mm-hmm. We have one of the recruiters that works with us, Joey Lurch. She's one of my senior recruiters. She's been with us for over 10 years, and she has a great saying. She says, "Choose your attitude." So, setting yourself up for success physically, obviously, making sure you're organized, making sure you're doing the right things physically to make things easier for yourself, keeping track of your tasks, using the tools that are provided, things like that. But, nothing beats choosing your own attitude. If you wake up in the morning and you think to yourself, today's going to suck. You know what? Today's going to suck. If you wake up and you choose to make the day a good day, that will happen. I love this saying, and I don't know who said it, but I love this saying, you can look for the good or look for the bad in people or situations. But either way, you'll find what you're looking for. So that's what we mean by setting yourself up for success. It's a mindset.
And when you talk about a mindset, you also mentioned to people that you just need to laugh in a day. So how does that, if you just need to pick your mindset and you need to laugh a little bit, how does that change?
Mm-hmm. There was a study that the University of Maryland did that actually found that laughter reduces the impact of stress. It improves creativity in the workplace. It promotes camaraderie and collaboration. So, injecting humor into your day is very important. So a lot of times we do that by, posting a funny quote or a cartoon where we can see it in our cubes or offices. And, depending on your company's policies on, communication via email, we will shoot each other a funny email once in a while. We keep them certainly internally, and they're always appropriate. But just injecting a little bit of humor goes a long way in terms of reducing stress.
And then when you're reducing stress, you also say help someone. Explain that.
Mm-hmm. So it always feels good to help someone, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just helping someone, if you're observant enough, you can always find somebody who could use a hand, whether it's with a task or, that just helping somebody not only helps them, but it makes you feel good. And in the meantime, if you're helping somebody with something, you may learn something. You may learn something new. You may get repaid. You may not. But, the bottom line is it feels good to help people. So, anything that makes you feel good is going to make you enjoy your life and enjoy your job a little bit more.
So what if we don't enjoy our jobs? What if we are just kind of stuck and we're trying all of your suggestions that you're trying to offer? Is it still okay to say, okay, maybe I just need to move on?
Oh, absolutely. I think for the most part, the last time I looked at statistics, it was close to 70%. I want to say it was 67% of Americans didn't enjoy their jobs. So that's a pretty high That's a pretty high number. And so if you try these things, and I think a lot of people maybe are just seeing things for what they are on the surface. So if you try these things, you very well may get a new attitude, adopt a new attitude, and things will work out. But if you truly are in the wrong job, nothing's going to help. If you really are in the wrong job, nothing is going to stick long term. You may feel better for a couple of days because you're forcing yourself to take on a more positive outlook. But if you really are in the wrong place, then you need to make a change. And of course, certainly, I know this is where we'll go next. You can certainly call us if that's something that you're looking to do and you are in one of the fields we work in. We place very locally, we place a lot of people in administrative positions within accounting, finance. We place a lot of people in data entry jobs, filing jobs. We work with a lot of doctors' offices, front desk positions, receptionists, administrative assistants. And then more regionally, we're working a lot in the fields of human resources. We recruit human resource generalists, human resource managers. We recruit for positions in recruiting, actually, and also we work in the fields of engineering and production management. So, if you're in one of those fields and you're with an organization that you're just not feeling it, that we certainly would be very happy to work with you and help you in terms of identifying new opportunities.
And I always like to bring this up. You mentioned it at the beginning of the show, how your clients are actually the companies that are seeking the employees and not me who just wants to come walk in and say, hey, can you help me get a job?
Sure. That's funny because in our profession, we kind of have to please both our client and I don't want to say product, but we provide people to fill positions, and if you, as one of our candidates, aren't happy, then it's not going to work out. So we very much work on behalf of you as the candidate, but you're right, you're not paying us a fee. The companies we work for are paying us a fee, so we're actually representing those companies, but we are also kind of representing you as well. We're almost like you're a free Jerry Maguire. So, yes, absolutely.
So as we're looking into 2016, we're already into it, of course, and we're trying to, enjoy our jobs, maybe get a new job. Where else would you like to go with our conversation today in our last 5 minutes together?
Sure. Well, just in general, I also like to mention that some of the things that may make people feel better have a lot to do with rewarding yourself. A lot of times we go to work, we do our jobs, and hopefully your company is good at rewarding you. Hopefully you receive some sort of reward, whether it's just a thank you, whether it's a written email or memo, whether it's an actual formal award, some recognition in some way. But, I think it's important to reward ourselves as well. And it doesn't have to be anything big. Sometimes if I have a very big objective that I want to meet and I know it's going to be very challenging and I sense that I'll probably procrastinate, I will set myself some sort of reward. And it typically is based on the size of the project. But even on a daily basis, I love chocolate. There's nothing I'd rather do than to walk into the break room and grab some chocolate and eat it. But if I'm in the process of doing something, I'll actually make that my little reward. Okay, if I stick to it here and if I get this done within the next 30 minutes, I will go get that chocolate. Or, maybe it's a latte. Maybe you like coffee. Or maybe it's even just taking a break. Too many people won't even allow themselves to take a little break. So if you're working on a project and you really need to stay focused and you think to yourself, if I get this done, I'm going to take 5 minutes and take a little walk, get some fresh air. That gives you something to look forward to, and it actually gives you that sense of reward because you're now following through on doing that thing that you wanted to do once you finish your task.
Lisa Gard, of course, you're in Butler. We've talked about the places that you serve and the places that you reach. Where do we get a hold of you? What's your phone number? I know you're online as well.
Yes, you can reach us over the phone at 724-287-8380. You can reach us online at www.specializedstaffinginc.com. We do have a portal on our website that is myspecializedcareer.com. This is a resource for job candidates because we can't help everybody. You know, we may have one opening and we have 30 people applying for it. One person's going to get that opportunity, so there are 29 other people that we may or may not get another opportunity for. So we do have that resource available, and it's a great resource. It's kind of a one-stop shop. There are templates in there that you can put in your information and get yourself a resume in different formats. There are resources where you can identify training opportunities. There are videos on how to interview. There's a different video each month on different job search topics. There's just lots of opportunity there to research different things and access resources. So certainly, if you're looking to switch careers or switch jobs, that would be a great resource for you as well.
Any final thoughts, Lisa, before we go?
Just that, I really hope that everybody had a great holiday, and I hope everybody is energized and ready to make the best out of 2016.
That's right. Lisa Gard, Specialized Staffing. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Tracy.
And folks, again, you can always hear this online. If you go to WISR680.com, you can hear the podcast and just look up in the menu bar programs and then Let's Talk, and then you'll find Specialized Staffing. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back again another day with another segment of Let's Talk. I'm Tracy Morgan.